This morning, I'm sitting at a tram stop here in Manchester. And one of the things you have to do in order to get on the tram, you got to go buy a ticket. And over here at this ticket booth, you can get a ticket and you can go to wherever you need or wherever this tram will take you. I'm here to tell you that Jesus and his blood has opened up for each and every one of us to go to heaven. You don't need a ticket. It's Jesus and his blood. And what we have to do is we have to share our story and our face-to-face encounter with him. In John chapter 4, we have the story of the woman at the well. She had a face-to-face encounter with Jesus that changed her life. She had a story. And then she went into Samaria to all the men there and she told them what had happened. She shared her story. She connected with them, and then she brought them to Jesus. When she was bringing them to Jesus, Jesus was having a little staff meeting. He was talking to his disciples, and he said, my meat, or what satisfies me, is to do the will of my Father. And then he saw the woman coming up with all the men, and he told his disciples, he said, wake up, look up, stand up, and speak up. He said, guys, wake up to the plight of the people around you. He said, look up, get your eyes off yourself. And then he said, stand up and speak forth the truth of the word. Because that's exactly what the woman had done. She had gone, she was now awake. She was now looking up and telling people the glorious news of Jesus, how he changed her life. And then she stood up and she spoke up, and it changed not only her life, but the life of all of those around her. See, today we need to be like the woman at the well. We need to take this face-to-face encounter that we have had with Jesus. Go tell all of our friends, our family. Go tell the people that we hang out with every day. Tell them what has happened in our life. But then we need to bring them to a place where they can experience the presence of God. That's exactly what she did. See, I'm here to tell you, Jesus wants this house full. It says that he told them in that story in Luke 14, he said that the master told them, fill my house up. I want my house to be full. He's distracted by empty seats. He's distracted when his house isn't full. And he implores us, he asks us today, fill up my house. Number one, you got to invite people. You know, they'll never come to church if you don't say, hey, come to my church. Come experience Jesus. Bring them to services that you know that are all about them. And bring them to a place where they can experience the love of God. So you got to invite them. But number two, you got to compel them. How do you compel them? With your story. How do you compel them? With how much the church loves them and cares about them. And then number three, you got to do like the woman at the well. You got to bring them. One translation says you got to drag them to church. You got to fill the place up. See, when you're full of God's love and compassion for the people in your life, then all of a sudden fear is gone. It says that love kicks fear out the door. When you get consumed with the love of God, you know that the people in your life need a Savior, and that Savior is Jesus. Then all of a sudden, you won't be afraid to share your faith. But all of a sudden, you begin to share. But you won't even be afraid to bring them to church when you know there are days and services designed just for them. September the 4th is that day at World Harvest Bible Church. Bring them to church. Invite them. Compel them with your story. Tell them about what we're going to do. We're going to feed them that day. It's going to be a service where they're going to know more about Jesus and get a clear picture of who he is. See, the thing you've got to realize, it's not about us, it's about them. You have to realize that we don't share our faith out of duty, we share our faith out of love. And when you get consumed with God's love for the Franks in your life, when you realize, just as we're at this tram stop, there are people moving through here every single day. They're looking for a ticket to go someplace. And I'm here to tell you, Jesus and his blood has purchased freedom. Jesus and his blood has purchased a way for them to live in fellowship with him and live eternally in heaven. So I implore you, go out and invite, go out and compel, and go out and bring them on September 4th. And as you do, the house will fill up, and they will respond to the goodness of God, and they will be saved on that day. Jesus said, I came to seek and save the lost. God the Father says that he sent his son because he loved people. And at World Harvest Bible Church, we love people. We love Manchester and the greater city, and we're believing for a harvest of souls on September 4th.